Hi guys, so this video is about what do I like about this expat blogger in the Philippines. I know there are some of this. I think most of them are very controversial, but I want to explain what I like about them, and maybe something that I don't really care for. Okay, so of this five in the thumbnails, I would say my favorite are Paul and Mart. Every man has a story. I know it's kind of very Paul and they're both very controversial. People were saying they were like old perp that they try to getting younger women's and then um, try to encourage people like them to come over to the Philippines. But to each his own. I mean, for me, I have no problem with the age gap, as I have said it many times. But and then again, as I have explained many times, that when I go to watch Paul, I just like the talking head or the interview. I go if it depends. I pick and choose on his video. If it's an interview, I go. That's all I'm watching because I learned something. I like to learn about people. That's been me for a long time. Since I was very young, I remember I was maybe 8 years old, and I will be playing my in the Philippines back then. We are very poor, so my toys are this what the cup of from the bottle of the cup, what we call tansan, and I use those as my play toys. Those are used as a soldier, and can you imagine? I collect so many of those cup, and I just I was having fun. I was very imaginative on my mind. Pretend like it's like a medieval time, or even a cowboy versus the Indians. Kind of whatever I watch on the movie. Anyway, so going back to oh, okay, I was talking about when I was young, and then I will be playing, and then sometime my mother it will be talking to my uncle or my aunt, and then all of a sudden I would stop. I would just listen to them. I love to listen to people talk, and then I learned so much by listening, and that's why I like to talk with people about if I always said to people, if you want any advice, I'd be happy to give you free advice of what I have experienced, of what I've learned. So I do like with Paul and Mark. Every man has a story. I love it. I love those interview. I mean, try to learn what are other people and what are they plan. Their lifestyle, and those are very like fascinated for me. Love the interview. I don't care for like what do you call that, reality TV. I hate that reality TV. So I have to when I have to watch Ice Cream Man or Tintin, I really hate it. But I just have to make a video, a reaction video. So I have like forcing myself to watch. But the talking head, I do like Tintin talking head though. Sometimes I watch talking head. I really enjoy that. I have to say, because I try to find something that maybe use it, to expose him though on that one. Going back to Mart, so I do enjoy that very much. And I know there's sometime when he see there's no perfect channel, and sometimes like me, I know I'm not perfect also. Sometimes I say something, or sometimes I make a reaction on certain things, maybe not to everybody liking. So I would suggest, as this is what I do when I go to a channel. If I like the channel, okay, good. If the bloggers start to talk about something I don't agree with, I just shut my mouth. I don't say nothing. I mean, why would I ruin the the being a good viewer? So I just shut my mouth, and then I don't watch it. You don't have to watch it. So that's what I do. I don't comment that much, and then sometimes I try to comment because I like to engage, but like blogger like Philly in the Philippines, he doesn't engage with you unless he's on live. When he's on live, then that's the only time he engage with you. But when you comment on his video, he will just give you a heart. That means he read it, but he will not answer anybody. So I don't like that. I feel like I take the time to comment on the video, and then and response back to me. So okay, fine. I don't need to watch your video. Why would I waste your time unless I think that video will help me. So then that's the only time I will watch. So and about Rike, I know Rike is a very controversial person. I have no problem with Rike. Like I said, I just watch whatever I wanted. I pick and choose, and he's a good talker. I like when people a good talker. I'm not a good talker. I'm still learning. I'm trying to be like them, but on my own style. Enrique is a smooth talker. I mean, all of these are smooth talker. So that's why I listen to them, and I try to pick up their knowledge. Only the good one, or the one I wanted to. So Ricky, he's a controversial person. He traveled so many places in Thailand, I think Vietnam too, and then he lived in those places. And I was also thinking doing the same thing. Exactly those places, I'm not sure. My wife and I, when we retired, that's what we're planning. First year we would just maybe try to live in uh, different places. We like Japan. We might try to live there for like a month or 2 months. I don't know. With that's there's other places that we have not been to. Singapore and we never been to, so we might try that. I love places I want to visit is Thailand and also Vietnam. For the reason I love their food. I love Thai food, and I love Vietnamese food, especially the Vietnamese food I love. So those are places I think we will visit. And then what else? Of course, Europe. We would like to go to Europe also. It's my dream to go travel by land. I just go around, hop from country to country. Would love to do that. Hopefully, I want to be too old to do that. And hopefully there's no more letter C. And so, and then and overstay road. Okay, so he's a good talker too. He's not my like my style, because I'm a like a home person. Me, I just word home. That's it. I never go out. The only time I go out is when I am. My daughter will always say the only place I go to is Home Depot. It used to be Home Depot, now it's Costco. That's, I'm a boring person, and then also the other place I go a lot is the library. I love the library. I mean, it's unbelievable when only my my instructor in the Philippines, if they know that or my teacher if they know that library become my number one favorite spot, they all will be shocked. I'm not a very good student when I was back in the Philippines. So yeah, I like library. I got to go there like every week. I have to check out the books. That's me. And then what else? So what I forgot. Oh, about talking about Mart, the overstay road. What I like about Mart, he's a good. Besides from he's a good talker, but to me, he is honest. He doesn't pretend. He like bar, he like to smoke, he like women. I don't know if he's married or not. I know he have a son or a daughter. I'm not quite sure. I know the one that I'm sorry. I maybe that's a girlfriend or a wife. I'm not sure if they're married, but he doesn't pretend. I mean, I think that a lot of people like him being being himself. He's being himself. That's the way his lifestyle. So he doesn't pretend. He doesn't pretend that he's a good old boys and somebody like somebody in Bohol trying to they keep using God's word to scam people. That, that's what I don't like is when people try to pretend. But Mart Overstay wrote no. He was just like tell it like it is. You like it or not. It's up to you. He drink. He smoke. Totally not me. I don't drink. I don't smoke. And then but I like him. Do I watch him all the time? Of course not. I watch some of his videos. My the 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 people, the most people that I watch, is Mart. Every man has a story, and Paul. I think Mart is number one, and then Paul maybe second, and then that's it. That's about it. I don't watch Ricky. Ricky, why would I watch Ricky unless he's in the he was showing us in certain place that I've never been to. I just watched that. That's one video. Uh, I don't need to learn anything about the Philippines because I know the Philippines, so I don't need Ricky advice. And then somebody say he also like will do a consultation if you want to learn more about Philippines. Good for him, I mean, if you find that might be helpful to you, why not? So that's just my take. And then Philly in the Philippines. Philly in the Philippines. I used to watch him. Uh, he's a good. I used to watch him, and then I used to watch him a lot before, and then before he started to turn into something else. But I will cover why. Uh, watch him before, like almost like every upload I watch him, and especially when he was having a sari store. I thought that was very funny. I know he was just doing that for fun, for for blogging, and then also he called the car, the red, I think the red car is called like the devil car. It cracked me up every time he got an accident on that and he was cursing on that car. I just laughed. I thought that was very interesting. It got me hooked into in the Philippines. Yeah, yeah. The only thing I did not like is the when you make a comment, he doesn't respond. He just put the heart. That's it. And then what else? And then lately, I have noticed that he's doing using a lot of clickbait, and then he's turning to. But I cannot blame him. I have to say that I can't blame him. He was showing a lot of something like this. I mean, look at this. I mean, married men, hugging all this. I don't know who are this. So that doesn't suit me. I mean, he's a married guy, and then he was with a whole bunch of. I mean, I know it's just for the thumbnails, and then he was showing us. And besides, he lived in Angeles City. So what do you expect? And the thing is, here's the thing. Um, when he was blogging about this sexy women, about this Angeles City, those burger, he got lots of view. So can you blame him? I mean, he's a blogger. So if you're a blogger, you have to decide. Are you gonna keep your decency? You want to continue blocking? What do you think is appropriate, or you're gonna block what people like? We have to be very honest. We have to be very honest to ourselves. So for me, I'm okay with him because I know he was doing it because it was the viewer demand. People like it. People like the controversial. You know, for me, like me, when I was try to criticize, certain blogger, I don't use, I don't call them scammer or or e-beggar. Maybe I can. I don't think I ever used that word on the title. That's my personal reason. I mean, I don't want to. Let me put it this way: if I want to get more view, I will use those titles. I will say, "Oh, that Brian is a scammer," or Tin that is a scammer. He's an e-beggar. They're gonna be arresting him soon. The police or President Duterte is gonna lock him up or something. I will say use those titles, but I don't. I like to maintain my decency. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not. I'm not throwing other people. This is all up to you. And that's what I'm saying. It's up to you. Which one is more important to you? Your integrity or the view? There's nothing wrong with either one. Either which way you choose, because you are the responsibility of your own. I mean, other people are not putting food on your table. It was you. It's your responsibility. So if you feel like it's okay, it's make those sexy bikini girls will help your channel. Good for you. Now, to me, even I don't like it, but a lot of time, like Paul, he will put that sexy, the wife will dress up in a bikini, but then you click, there's no bikini there. I mean, it's Paul. He would just be talking. It's a talking head. So I mean, sometimes I don't care for the thumbnail, but I kind of, you can kind of preview. When you click that video, you can see a little bit, and then I say, oh, it's a talking head. I'm safe. I can go in there. So that's how I do it. And then okay, going back to Philly. Again, I used to watch him, and then he has a stepdaughter. At that time, she was very young. She was just a little, and now I seen that she was growing up. And the wife also have her own channel. I don't watch the wife channel. I just before I go on here, it was recommended to me by YouTube, and I went there. Lot, I think Lot. I think that's the name of the wife. She's don't get me wrong, she's a very sweet, Filipina. Not that I went there, and then I see it now. The daughter is grown up now, and her channel is almost focused on the daughter, or I don't know who's the other girl. I have not seen her before, a younger girl, but it's not my cup of tea. I don't watch that because to me, I value family, privacy. So I would not do something to my family like that. But hey, it's their channel, it's their lifestyle. If that's how they want it, so be it. I mean, if you think about it, though, going back to do you want to maintain your standard, or you want to be you want to bring in your family? Because a lot of people, maybe they started try to do that, try to keep their standard, and then they were looking at the other channel, like let's say Brian Ahern. Use all the family. It's in the video, and he got I think like 1 million view now. To me, again, I have no problem with Brian Ahern. Do I watch him? I could maybe tell you, maybe I watched maybe not more than 10 of his video. Because I remember one of the video that he was in America. By the way, he lived not too far from me. I mean in this area, in this neighborhood, you know. So I remember watching one video that he has to go shopping for something like socks. Oh, I have to go. I went to the Rose. I buy this socks, cheap sock, and then I have to go to the post office because a viewer sent me a money order for my kids, and then blah blah blah, and then show, oh, the kids are in the pool, and I was like talking to myself, really, million subscriber, that's they want to see that it. I mean, why do I have to watch other people life like that, like what they're doing, what they're eating, or I I don't know, but everybody have their own, of course we are not the same. So anyway, but and he got like a million subscriber, so good for him. But then, if you are in that, something like that, you have small kids. I'm talking about Philly in the Philippines. So maybe I'm not saying that's what like motivate, but I'm just, maybe that's one of the motivation that maybe we bring the start to film that the like their daughter, uh, yeah, I mean, you don't know, you have no idea about widow, weird people. Sometimes like, again, I'm so against with that, especially when you have a young teenager. You don't want to expose to this word that you don't know. But again, that's just me. So and then a lot of people were saying that I don't know if I repeat it already. Sometimes I will repeat what I said. A lot of people say they don't like this type of blogger because they just attract all people, all expat, and then by showing that they can get a young Filipina to come to the Philippines, and then if you're earning like less than 1,000, you can have a good life and have a beautiful girlfriend or wife. So they try to encourage more old people, but unfortunately, that's the truth. That's the truth. That's why when I retire, that's what I want to do. I want to share more information about the Philippines. To who? Not to young people. Why would the young people move to the Philippines? Of course, the old people. It's the old expat. And it's up to them if they want a young Filipina or they want some, older, like their age. It's up to them. I mean, not all the expat that go to the Philippines are chasing young Filipina. No, I have friends that they married older, like their age. So I mean, it's just because we are in this world that they love the controversial. So if you are old and then you marry a younger one, it got to be talk. People like to talk about that, so it got more controversial. It got more view. Yeah, that's the truth. If you put a thumbnail with a sexy, beautiful Filipina, chances you're gonna get double or three times more view. That's the reality. So again, like I was saying, if you wanna go remain, keep your standard, or you wanna join the crowd. So I wanna, like, give you an example that here's Bob Brown. He's a very decent man. I mean, and the wife, they've been married for like what, 40 years, I think, or more. I like Bob Brown. I watch him. I love the tuk tuk. I think that's what we call we call it in the Philippines tricycle, but I don't. They have a different name now. I don't, I thought that was very cool. Every time I watch his video, and then he go drive his motorcycle, I just I can like picture myself. Oh, because you know what, I've said it a couple of times. If I go retire in the Philippines, I don't think I'm gonna buy a car. But then when I saw Bob Brown has this tricycle, I said that might be cool. I might get that one. Because like the car, you're gonna have, you're gonna worry, and then if you are not gonna be steady in one place, if I'm gonna be going around, I like to travel light. So unless I'm sure I wanna stay in one place, maybe I'll get a car, or maybe I just get those Bud Brown tricycle. So tuk tuk, I think it's tuk tuk. I think that's what they call tuk tuk by the expat community. So I don't know. I still so what I'm saying, look, is he's been around for a long time. Got 15,000 subscriber. But those this controversial other controversial people, blogger, they got a lot of subscriber because of what? Because of the controversial, the sexy, beautiful lady, Tom and Ruth. I consider Tom a friend. He's been there a long time, and he's very, just like Bud Brown, very decent man, Christian, and I learned so many things from Tom also. I used to watch his live a lot of time before, and you learn something, and he make it very like it's like a weekly, almost like get together. It was fun. I do enjoy Tom and Ruth live stream. So I mean, look, he got 22,000 subscriber, and then he's been for a long time. He's been, but that's what I'm saying. When you keep your standard, sometimes you don't get too much, subscriber. And then Amazing Philippine, I don't know Amazing Philippine very well, but I like his channel. I do enjoy his channel. I mean, when I ask him a question, he will respond to me. I really appreciate it. I think one time he was showing like a hotel, and then like a waterfront hotel, and then also do you can get like a breakfast. I believe like a breakfast and lunch. And I was like looking, and I was telling my wife that would be perfect for me, because that's my plan before. I always wanted to have like a bed and breakfast place, where I don't know. Before I was thinking here in U.S. I was saying we were. This was a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago. I was talking to my wife. I said maybe when we retire, we can get a place like that, and then in a tourist spot, and then we'll just do breakfast and bed and breakfast. We both love that, but now everything is so expensive. I mean, I don't know how can you. That seems like impossible now to get the bed and breakfast place in here in U.S. And then especially now with the letter C, and then you don't know what's going on. Mega Bounce Awake, I love his channel. I mean, Dan, he has he used I think the wife, I'm not sure if it's a wife or girlfriend, a lot of in sexy bikini, but I have to compliment Dan though. He make it, even with the sexy bikini, he make it very classy. Shout out to Dan. He did make it very classy. So I don't feel like uh, um, maybe I'd rather not say it, but anyway. So yeah. So what else? Did I forget anything? Yeah, when you do that, I mean, you are exposing your family You don't know who are the weird people that. I remember one of my viewers said this to me. He was saying he was complimenting one of the blogger wife, and he was saying if you are not getting turned on this, I don't want to say the name. Let's say uh, Michelle. I'm just saying. I don't want to use the name. If you're not getting turned on Michelle, something's wrong with you. He's referring to me. Are you serious? Really? That that tells you everything. That tells you that he's a perp. I mean, why would you look at like other people wife like that? It's sick. I'm telling you, a lot of sick people. That's just me. I mean, and then of course there is Tim K and Chrissy, right? Tim K and Chrissy. Tim, I mean, he, the I came to know Tim was through Harold. I am a big fan of Harold. I watched lots of those travel blogger like Mark Wayne and also the other blogger, food blogger. So I was watching Harold, and then he came to the Philippines, and Tim was with him. That's where I got to know Tim, and then after. But at that time, I was watching Tim. He looked like he was struggling. You can tell he's so cheap. I mean, like he's almost like waiting for for her to pay. You can sense from the video, right? Um, and then all of a sudden, like he seems like he's doing fantastic now. He's like constantly he's going to nice hotel, and for doing what? I don't see him doing anything, and he hardly make video. He maybe do a video like two video or three video a week. And I know that he's also using his wife for view, because Chrissy is a cute girl, and a lot of weird people, those old people like Chrissy. And we have to be honest, that's what they got they think she's a cute, she seems like a very honest lady. I'm not saying she's not, but with that type of that, I don't really like it the way they handle it, because they came up, they make a video, Tim and Chrissy K, they make a video, they talk about we will be very transparency, we have a lawyer, they to show you, the how much we receive. It will be it will be available for the viewer to see. And at that time, I was thinking, why lawyer? It should be an accountant, not lawyer. Lawyer doesn't do the numbers unless the lawyer is also an accountant. So that's when they was making to do the fundraising with the GoFundMe, and then when the money was because again it was Chrissy was making the uh, pledging, asking people for help with a sweet image, like could never break a plate. So everybody fall in and send a lot of money, a lot of money. You can sense it. And then Chrissy came out and said, the lawyer gave them a bad advice. Lawyer said, we don't need the license. And then, because they got stopped by the DSWD, the DSW told them that, they can do that, but they need to notify the DSWD, so the DSWD can monitor how much came in and how much was spent to help the victim. And then we all know now, when Chrissy gave us the, the what do you call that, the breakdown, and then she said some of the receipt was missing. Anyway, so I mean, for me, I don't really watch Tim unless he's showing about something that might interest me. Like he was showing one thing. One time he was showing about the expat buying some waterfront property. Those are kind of I'd be interesting to watch. All right, so yeah, that's the that's what I like about this blogger. And then let me know your thought, and then let me know your thought on this blogger and about the video. Thank you again for watching. Take care and stay safe. God bless. Bye bye.